uh, one feeds the other and one ruins the other if you don't get it right.
It all starts with the color matching then before the cutting, right? I mean, obviously there's a lot of things in between, but we're going to mostly focus on the color matching. And then we're going to assume you know how to put, because that is the big problem that how do we skip placement if we're going to be talking about extensions? Because that can fix a lot. I mean, I doing individual strands back with she hair, K-tips, keratin tips. One of the things I liked so much about keratin tips by she hair compared to great lengths was that the ends were more natural. Like I actually I'm testing a clip-in set right now, 7-piece clip-in set to see if we're going to start selling them. And I'm looking at the ends to see how natural it looks on the ends. Because when you put clip-ins in, you may put them in different places. So a little more soft ends will blend better if you put them a little different each time. Mm-hmm. Well, with she hair, the ends are more natural. So if it says 18 inch, it's really like 20 to 22 inches, but it's a little more broken up at the end, a bunch of different lengths. And great lengths was like straight across. And it never looked real. And you would have to texturize the ends and try to make it look real. But people equated that with it's thicker. They're like, oh, great lengths hair is thicker than she hair. And it's like, oh, no, we put them on a scale. They weigh the same amount of strands up to a certain point, and then the ends are thinner. So is it thinner or is it more natural looking? The big debate. So I can remember many hair shows going to with models, putting in full head of she hair. And because of the placement pattern, it would not even need to be cut. We would do it so we could do cutting presentations on stage, but the stylists, usually with stylists, were models because they could do double duty. They could work and they could be the model. And so we get to the show or before we go and they're like, I'm loving my hair. I don't even want to get it cut. I'm like, we got to show cut at the show. But because of the pattern, which I'm going to grab ahead to show a pattern real quick.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, grab the placement pattern because the placement pattern matters so much. The thing with color, what ends up happening is people get so hung up on it matching directly. You know, we've talked about it before in the past. You're never going to get an exact match. No,
that's true.
Under any circumstance. But yeah, the pattern, once you match up the color, where you put it, that's why I say it's such an intertwined relationship, such an important relationship between the two. One feeds the other and one ruins the other if you don't get it right.
Well, and so many people's color, like a mannequin, it's going to be pretty much the same color from start to finish. But if this girl was living out in the real world and she's in the sun, the lights, the whatever, blow drying, curling her hair, flat ironing, curling ironing, whatever, the ends, they lose color faster. So almost always the ends are lighter than the top. So if we get back to what we're talking about first, color matching, this is where it shows anyway, right? Because you put extensions in near the scalp somewhere. Let's just get in here right here. And let's just say my hand is the extension hair. You don't even see my finger right here, right? Because it's hidden underneath the hair. And so what people are trying to match is the hair near the scalp right here. But where does the extension start to blend and show? It's the ends. And so when people say the ends, sometimes they think these ends. It's the end of the hair that's the top layer. So you take this top layer or right down to where you're going to put extensions in. You're not going to put them any higher than that. And so it's the ends that fall over the top of the extensions in this area. Because some of it's going to peekaboo through where it's a little thinner. And then some of it's going to be down here. So that's the other thing. We're talking about this is the color we got to match. But if this hair is cut real solid layers, it's also now the cut. So we've got to think about two things at the same time. These mannequins tend to come real fine and thin and wispy, so they blend with extensions better. But if you've got a client with a bob or real sharp layers, sometimes you've got to soften all of these ends, and I don't mean the very end, but the ends of all the hairs with texturizing, thinning shears, or razor. So there's just a softer look so that when I put extensions in, it just, you see how you start to see my fingers further up?
Right.
Well, that's the same thing with the extensions. And then, like you said, you don't have to match the color as perfectly if you start with a good cut. So then you match the color as close as you can down here. and then it doesn't have to be perfect. That's kind of what you were trying to say, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I think one of the biggest mistakes, or it's not a mistake, it's an oversight is what it is. Yes, we are applying the hair extensions close to the scalp, but really where do they live is basically your cheek, your chin, and below is where you're really going to see it. So the layering, the type of the haircut that somebody has and how much layering somebody has, that is also what matters, because yes, hair extensions is for volume and fullness, and it can create texture, density, it can create fun things, it can fill in gaps in the hairstyle. Unfortunately, the most common thing we see is just everybody jumps to length. Everybody just thinks length, and they can't think outside of that. What ends up happening is, if you've got shorter layers going throughout the top of your head because of face framing and stuff, or if you've just had a short haircut that you're in the middle of growing out and you're becoming impatient and you instantly want long hair, yes, hair extensions will do that easily. That's not a problem. The disconnect where it happens is your natural hair is stopping over here, and then you've got all that new length down here, and there's such an abundance of a disconnect without a transition color in there to blend it seamlessly all together.
Transition, cut, color, all of the above.
Well, and then because if your hair stops here or here, and then the length of the hair extensions is down here, there is no natural hair in between to cut, to blend into that. So you are forced to cut into the hair extensions, right? But even then, you're cutting into those hair extensions. All you're doing is thinning out the disconnect of that color in between. You're not, and it's like, oh, there, it's just not, you just didn't cut it enough. It's not blending enough. I need more hair to cut more hair to blend it more.
Well, you're hitting on a perfect topic right now. That's the part I think you're hitting on, the reason that people need to buy more hair and don't realize it sometimes. They're like, I just want to add length, not thickness, so I don't want to put too much. It's like, well, if you're adding length, and the more length you're adding from what you're saying, the client's hair to the end of the extension hair, you've got to put, because you're taking out pieces of it to layer it into. And so you need more hair to fill in the layers, because inherently you're thinning the hair. If you've got to cut into the extensions, you're thinning the extensions, but you've got to have the layers and those broken up pieces to join the two together. So if you've got to thin the extensions to get it to blend because you got too much of a disconnect, well, then you got to put more in so that you can do that. Right? I mean,
it's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle. And that's why I say it's not necessarily a mistake. It's just an oversight that only seems obvious after you have paid thousands of dollars out of your own pocket to discover why it doesn't work.